Hello and welcome everybody to this week's Wednesdays Weekly. This is your bite-sized briefing, a collaboration between Action Together, the voluntary community and faith sector and the public sector. I'm really pleased to welcome you to this, the fifth episode in our new cost of living crisis series. Action Together are working with Oldham Council to welcome you every Wednesday between now and next March to hear from the services and organisations that are working alongside you, delivering critical help to support Oldham residents through the cost of living crisis. I'm really pleased, really delighted to hand you over now to Tom Lewis-Hood from Oldham Foodbank, who will be taking us from here. So over to you, Tom.
Hi everyone, good morning. Nice to see you all here and thank you for coming along. For any of you that haven't met me yet, I'm Tom and I've recently started working at the food bank as a development coordinator. So nice to meet you all and thank you for coming anyway. I'm gonna go to the next one. There we go. So the food bank, as I'm sure you're all aware, it's been around for a while. It started off as part of the parish of St Margaret, Hollingwood and St Chad and Limeside. Across the last sort of 10 years it's grown quite a lot, and especially in the last few years it's obviously tried to meet the demand that's kind of increased over the time of the COVID pandemic and with the cost of living crisis now. So the food bank now provides a delivery only service of emergency food parcels across the Oldham area and also collection of parcels from the Shore Food Bank Centre, and that's on Monday for a couple of hours, 11 till 1:45. Oldham Food Bank's a volunteer-led and run operation, so the volunteers have done a fantastic job over the last few years of really cementing the operation. They do a fantastic job of all aspects of it, collecting all the food, processing the vouchers, sorting all the food out and storing it, packing the food and delivering the food parcels. We also have volunteers who will work with the local businesses to secure donated stock and services. They'll purchase food when we're low on certain items. They run all the social media accounts and they'll work with local organisations. So it's a really good example of a nice volunteer-led organisation. So in terms of the support that we provide, we'll provide food parcels to anyone in the Oldham area experiencing crisis once they've been referred. At the moment, we'll aim to deliver the food parcel on the same day, and for a lot of the time we will be doing that as long as they're referred before 2 p.m. now. It has been 3 p.m. in the past, but due to the increase in demand and the dark nights, we've just had to bump it back up to 2. Not to say that we won't be able to deliver on the same day, but it's just not necessarily a guarantee. The emergency food parcels will include 7 days worth of food, and then we'll try and provide any extra items that we've had donated to us, things like toiletries, cleaning products, sanitary products, nappies, anything that we get given extra, really, we'll try and provide, because we understand that obviously when people come to us for a food parcel, it's not only food that they might be struggling to buy. Just want to go to the next slide. So in terms of what's in a food parcel, we try and include a nice range of things that will cover different meals throughout the day, mean that they can cook different meals. A lot of it will be dried ambient tin food, so it can obviously last a little bit longer if it needs to. We'll try and provide where we have fresh vegetables and fruit, we'll try and provide that first as well, so people are getting a bit more of a range in their diet as well, and not just living off tinned and dried foods. And then any kind of extras such as like biscuits or snacks that we've got in, we'll try and include anything extra that might be useful for them as well, and we'll try and tailor the food parcel to the person based on the information that we've been given in the referral about them and their family. So in terms of other types of parcel and support, obviously we sometimes do get referrals for people that don't have any access to cooking appliances. A lot of the time they'll only have access to a kettle if they're in some kind of temporary accommodation or a hotel. In this case, we'll provide things like instant meals and soups, breakfast items, anything that's ready to eat for them that can be stored easily, any snacks, and then bread items. Obviously it's a bit more of a limited offer, but we'll just try and make sure that we kind of ensure they've got enough food for that 7 days, and try and provide a bit of a range of things so they're not having to eat the same thing all the time. We'll also provide people, parcels for people with different dietary requirements. Obviously, people have got certain health conditions that mean that they can't eat certain foods, or they need extra food to sort of help with that. It might not always be available, but we'll try our hardest, really. We'd also, so like we said, we've got the limited stock of things like toiletries, deodorant, shampoo, shower gel. We'll have some stock of like toothpaste and toothbrushes as well, depending on the time. But what we will say about these kind of items is that obviously we don't have a massive, stock of them. So if, we like to encourage people who are referring to just make sure that they only ask for those if they need those items at the time. Same thing as well, we've got some nappies and baby milk and baby items such as that. It's really helpful for us if we know what size, especially for nappies, or what age they are for the baby milk, and also preferred brand as well can sometimes be really useful for baby milk, because obviously not all families can use any type of baby milk as well. And then similar thing, we've got a limited stock of washing and cleaning items, so things like washing up liquid, anything to help with washing clothes, which we can provide to people if they need it as well. So in terms of how people can access this service, obviously the food bank is referral only, so people can't refer themselves. They have to speak to one of our approved referral agencies, and there's quite a number of those. You can see some examples of those there, things like the Council Unity Partnership Helpline, housing associations, and other professionals that might work with the client already. The agencies will then sort of have a conversation with the person, think about what what they need, and if a food parcel would be right for them at that point in time. It's really important, this conversation that the referral agencies have for us, because obviously, as we are a delivery only food bank, we like to get as much information as possible. So things about their diet, and also just things about like preferences or things that they already have at the moment, just so we can reduce the waste that's going into the food parcel. If people can't eat something, it's helpful for us to know that, and we'll try and sort of take that into account if possible. It's really important for us that when people come to us for food parcels, they're receiving other types of support that's going to help alleviate their crisis at the time, or just help them reduce the need to use the food bank in the future. But obviously, for some people, we understand that it's not necessarily possible in their situation to reduce it at that time as well. So the food bank will deliver the food parcel to the client's address, or an office of a professional that they could collect from, if that makes it easier. The clients cannot come to the food bank in Derbyshire to pick up food parcels. So we can arrange pickups from professionals on behalf of the client, if that might be the referrer or someone else that works with the client as well. But they can't come to the food bank, which is different to most food banks in the area as well. So yeah, in terms of giving effective support, we want to make sure, a lack of food, or having the money for food is it's normally not the only problem that people are experiencing when they come to us for a food parcel. There's normally other things going on in their life that might have led to them needing support with food. But for this reason, we think it's really important that they get specific support that's suits them and is going to help them in their situation. Previously in the past, we've had rules in the area about people receiving 4 parcels in 6 months as like a limit. That's not necessarily the case anymore, and we will send out a bit more updated guidance on that in the next sort of week or so. But it's really, really important that when we get to that stage of someone having 4 parcels in 6 months, that we want to have a really direct line of communication with the referrers, so we can make sure we're discussing what support they're receiving at the moment for the client, what stuff they might need help with that they're not receiving at the moment, and any places that they could be signposted to sort of help them out with that. And a similar thing as well, when we see a client being referred by different organisations, sometimes that can mean that, you know, they might be using different helplines but not actually receiving, you know, sort of support which continues with them on their journey and helps them, you know, reduce the chance of using the food bank again. So in terms of referring to the food bank, I'm sure some of you might all already be a referrer into us. If you're not, then you can contact the email address here, info@oldham.foodbank.org.uk, and we'll then just send you a bit of information about the referrals, and we'll sign you up to the system that we use, so you can, you know, make e-referrals on the internet for the person. And you know, it's really important when we do get referrals that we have contact details, because we are delivering the food parcels to people's addresses. Obviously, we understand that you know, there's going to be, it's really helpful for them really to know when it's going to come. So when our volunteer drivers will deliver it to them, they'll make sure to call them beforehand, but they will have to get in contact with them beforehand to make sure that they're going to deliver the parcel, just to keep you know, ensuring that they're going to have a journey that's going to make sense for them. They're not going to be wasting the fuel. So yeah, so it's really important that we do have, you know, at least contact details for the referrer or the client as well. In terms of other information, so you can access a website at oldham.foodbank.org.uk, and that'll have lots of information about how you can give help, donate stuff to us, or receive help. There's lots of information about how the food bank works, and you know, the kind of you know, just helpful things for people to know when they're using the food bank, especially if it's their first time. We've got a telephone number below there as well, which you can call up. We won't, you know, we do get some people calling up sometimes to make referrals. It's a lot easier if they obviously go directly to one of the agencies, so please kind of advise them on that, and we can always help out if you get in touch with us about you know, helping you find a referral agency as well. We've got the info@oldham.foodbank.org.uk email there, and my email as well, and then other contacts will be Father Tom and Becky Kershaw, who I'm sure you probably will have you know, been aware of over the last few years, helping out with the food bank as well. Any questions?
Okay, excellent. Thanks so much, Tom. Some really, really useful information in there. Okay, I think unless we've got any more questions, just want to say thanks everyone, some absolutely brilliant questions there. Thanks for joining today. And also huge thanks to Tom. Tom, how long have you been at Food Bank?
About a month and a half.
about 6 weeks. So you know, throwing you in at the deep end there, but yeah, no, really, honestly, brilliant input, and some really helpful, useful information. So yeah, thanks all for coming. Hope to see you. I think next week we've got Tameside, Oldham and Glossop Mind, I think. Have a check of the schedule. It's all on there, and hope to see you all again on one of these soon. Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.